All right, welcome to this edition of How to Q. This is another cafe light setup. This one will be kind of temporary. Actually, it will be temporary. So I got some lumber, I've got some lights. Let's put them up. I'll talk about the plan right now. All right, this is the back of their property. This is my son and daughter-in-law's house. I'm going to attach a post to that wall and two posts to the roof. Actually, attach it to the underside. Of course, I'll show you that. For that, I needed 2x4s, or that's what I used. Of course, they're a little more expensive these days. So I cut it up. I had this idea of putting up this post on the wall without actually drilling into it. So I had this idea that it was actually a fail, and here's that design right there. I'll show you how I recovered from that. I use an all-in-one light hanging kit. So here's a hook. Before I put it up on the wall, I attached that and put it up and realized that I did need to drill in it. So that's what I'm going to do next. I have decided to drill into the wall. I'm going to put a very small screw with a washer just to help it from moving left and right. You do need a special masonry bit, which I've got. Link is below. I used a wood bit just to kind of mark my spot, just put a little divot. Now I use my masonry bit. By the way, Makita makes a 3-function drill, and it'd be nice to have hammer drill on yours. You don't need it, but it's nice. Okay, when you're putting one of these in, don't go nuts. I've got this on the slow setting, which is 1. You can easily just bore out the hole and it'll have nothing to grab onto. When you just feel it kind of grab, you stop. I initially thought I'd just have to put in 1 screw. Of course, I had to go to the backside and put the other screw in. What I should have done is just put the post up against the front of the wall and drilled into it. There's alley access here, so this actually worked out fine. Good to go. All right, now for the other side. Again, it's about a 7.5 foot high roof. This is what I'm going for. I'm going to attach these supports to the underside rafters, I guess we should call them, just because that is the easiest way to get these supports up. And here I am. I obviously do this twice, and I'm just each time going over, checking them, and making sure they fit. And again, it's kind of like a J, a reverse J. I'm using these SPAX screws. I'm pre-drilling, then drilling. You don't actually have to pre-drill with these SPAX screws. And then before I put it up, again, I'm using this hook that comes with an all-in-one cafe light setup that I'll show you later. And this is a little out of order, but I've got alley access in the back of this house, so I did do painting. I used that primer that you can get at any big box store, hardware store. Again, pre-drilling and then setting them up. I really wish I had some clamps to help with this. I do have 2 drills. That's my other drill. It's an impact drill. And I've got, I believe it's 2-inch screws that I'm screwing in here. I also realized that I needed to screw into the front. So I drilled about a 1-inch hole and then drove screws into the side there. Again, nobody's going to see these, but they were both up and centered and ready for this all-in-one light hanging kit. You could source all of these things individually, but if you want to save yourself a ton of time, this has got what you need, more than you need, but for $33 at 2022 prices, this is a great option. Link is in the description. All right, there's 182 feet of this 1/16 inch bare wire. Why 1/16 inch? Because A, it holds a lot of weight, and B, it's easy to cut, which is key. You don't need any special cutters. I just loop it around there. I go to this first post, and all I do is make this loop. Again, this is very easy to do with this kit. You just need a Phillips head screwdriver. You go in one side and out the other, and you screw in those little screws, and it makes a loop. Just all I did was put a loop up there. Comes in that kit. That kit is money. They come with a few turnbuckles. I could have put a turnbuckle here and a turnbuckle on the other one. I'm just going to try one for now. And all you do is you basically widen this out as wide as it'll go. You got 2 parts that unscrew, and then once they're at this widest point, all you have to do is turn this, and it'll put tension on the wire, and you'll get a straighter line. It'll look better, more professional. Here's that turnbuckle. I'm going to unscrew it. All right, it's at its widest point. So what I can do is I can hook that on here. Okay, it's at its widest point, and all I have to do is turn this the other way.
and that'll cinch up on the lines. And I have one of these ready to go, like a loop. One wire in, you got a loop. Sorry, the audio was pretty bad. It was pretty windy. So now all you're doing is you're going to line up a loop with the very end of that turnbuckle. So when you hook that in, you can cinch it up by turning that turnbuckle. Pretty easy process. And now I just use wire cutters to cut the 1/16 inch diameter wire. You don't need special cutters for that. And I make the loop that I showed you earlier. I attach it to the end of the turnbuckle, and then I cinch it down, and it really straightens out that wire. It's nice.
All right, now that that's done, time to put up my favorite lights.
All right, I'm throwing these up. Link down in the description. I like them because they've got the little hooks on them. These have been outside for 18 months. They're from my house. I've had no issues with them. Oh, before I forget, it's 32 feet from the wall, from the roof to there. These are 33 feet long. Works perfect. I like to get a length that is appropriate for the distance you're trying to run, 33 feet.
All right, pretty easy here. All you're doing is putting those lights on with the hook, and then I just drag them down to one side. The key here is to put the male end, which is the prong end, up against the building because that's where the electricity is. Female end on the other side. I, of course, hook the other set of lights into that and then do the same thing, hook it on the other wire and drag it down. These are twist ties that I'm using to keep it from slipping down the wire and actually kind of finishing up that other end where you've got those two wires hanging down. I also use duct tape or Gorilla Tape to cover up the outlets if you need to. Again, this is temporary, so not meant to last forever.
Okay, hooking up power. If you're looking for a more permanent solution, but you don't want to wire an outlet, take an extension cord, find an overhang, and put it just underneath here. Go get some staples, basically electrical staples, and hammer those in just to keep this underneath the overhang. That'll help waterproof it. I have an outlet up here, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that now.
All right, here I'm just cleaning up the end of those cafe lights. I'm attaching it to the post with this black electrical tape, connecting the extension cord. If this were going to be more permanent, I would be doing this all underneath the eave.
Okay, there are plenty of options for timers when it comes to outdoor lighting. I love these Wi-Fi plugs. This doesn't look very durable, but they've been in all sorts of weather. Link is down in the description. I use these at my home. Since this is someone else's house, I am using this heavy-duty outdoor all-weather plug with a timer. So I'm going to set the timer for sunset to about midnight, and then these lights will come on automatically. Pretty easy. All right, I am done. I've used zip ties. I may leave those up for right now, but we are going to wait till nightfall, check these out, or they're going to check them out, and then we'll come back and wrap this thing up. All right, this job is done. I had to make a few changes along the way, but things don't always go according to plan. Thank you so much for watching. I would love for you to check out some of my other videos. I've got several cafe light videos or just DIY in general. Subscribe in the bottom right. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. And any of the things I used on this job is linked below. That helps support my channel. That's it for this edition of How To Q. We're ready for the party. See you next time.